I love it how I refresh this page and I'm bombarded by Hitalia access powers. It gets on my last nerves. Sorry all that like Hitalia, but I don't. It sucks. But yeah, anyways, as you can see, ZeXal has premiered on Toon's Eye. I'll have my thoughts about it at the end. But yeah, it's that time again. Woo! On tap today we have episodes 19 and 20. 19, sorry about that. I've re-recorded this like 15 bajillion times. The Promised Bring It to Him. So, basically it starts off with everyone talking about the upcoming Visitors' Day coming up. You know, like Parents' Day for those of us in the U.S. that had Parents' Day back in elementary school. I'm not sure how it was with everyone else in other countries, but yeah. I know I had a Visitors' Day or two. Parents' Day or two. But everyone's reluctant to talk about it around Yuma because, well, he doesn't have parents. And he's like, oh, that's fine. Don't feel like you don't have to talk about it because of me. And he goes home that day and tries to ask Akari. But before he can really ask her, he finds out that she has a prior arrangement with people from her old school and stuff, like school reunion type thing, on the same Saturday. So he doesn't bring it up with her. Same thing happens with his grandma, so he doesn't bring it up with her either. So he's basically stuck without anyone to go to Visitors' Day with him. And every time I see this, I think of a demotivational poster. Astral, he watches you while you sleep. I'm sorry. But anyways, so the next day, they start going to school, and Yuma realizes that the Emperor's Key is gone. Yes, we have a name for this now. It's called the Emperor's Key. But anyway, so Astral and Yuma start frantically looking around for it, and Astral's like, oh my gosh, you have to find it. You know how important it is. And Yuma's like, yeah, I know how important it is. It's also important, not just because of you, but because my dad gave it to me. And, of course, flashback time, but his dad is this guy, Kazuma Tsukumo. We had already seen him in pictures along with his wife, Mirai Tsukumo, who is gorgeous. I mean, they really do make her out to be like God's gift to the earth. I mean, and she seems like a nice lady. We don't really see her that much, but she is in this episode. But Kazuma is the reason behind Yuma's go-to philosophy, katobing. And I will talk about what they did with that phrase at the end. But yeah, they go on a camping trip, he and Yuma. A little bit of bonding time. Have a man talk about, whenever you feel like giving up, just think about katobing, to bring it to him. And that's been Yuma's life philosophy ever since. And he was such a cute little baby. I mean, so tiny. Anyways, so later on, not really later, in this episode is we find out how Kazuma gets the Emperor's Key. He goes on this expedition in, I guess, the Arctic with his wife, and a horrible snowstorm comes about, and he falls down a ravine and ends up here in Astral World. And I think he sees its destruction, is what I think happens. But anyways, he comes out of it alive, and he ends up with the Emperor's Key. And that's basically the only explanation we get as to how exactly he ends up with the Emperor's Key. There's baby Yuma. And it's kind of a throwback to Grandpa getting the Millennium Puzzle. Kind of, if you want to analyze it that much, as I obviously have. But that's just how I see it. Anyways, we flash back to present day. They end up going back home, and of course the Emperor's key is right there at home. So then they head back to school. Meanwhile, Akari is talking with Tetsuo's older sister, Tetsuko, who of course looks just like him, only with less body weight and more cleavage. And she realizes while talking to Tetsuko that Yuma was trying to ask her to go to Visitor's Day. And she rushes over to the school. Same thing happens to with his grandma. I love this little mini duel. It was so funny. But the both of them go to the school and cheer Yuma on, and Astral makes the observation that Yuma is loved. And that's how this episode ends, and I just loved that episode for no reason other than it's just a cute little episode. It really is. It's just a cute little episode that I think holds a lot of weight in the series in terms of character development. It's just how I feel. But anyways, a lot of people don't like it, and I don't know why. But I do. Episode 20, The Pitch Black Number, Dark Yuma vs. Tetsuo. This episode starts off, with another round of getting a number from someone who's been possessed by it. Some dude is possessed by number 96. Yuma and Astral get it back. They're walking home after getting it with Kotori and Tetsuo, and Yuma and Tetsuo get in a fight, basically. And they don't speak to each other for the majority of the next day. At the end of that day, they have another kind of fight. A little mini fight. And Tetsuo ends up knocking the Emperor's key off of Yuma. Not out of his hand, just off of him. Which ends up having some sort of ooze come out of Yuma's deck box, which then ends up possessing Astral. And of course that ooze is none other than 96 itself. And it possesses Astral. Before our Astral is completely sucked in, he tells Yuma to give Tetsuo hope, and of course he does. And Tetsuo also picked up the Emperor's key, which protects him from 96, and they start a duel. Of course, because that's how we solve all our problems in Yu-Gi-Oh! We duel. And yeah, this is 96. And he's a pretty bad little dude. Pretty hardcore little bugger. Rank 2, horrible attack and defense. 100 attack, 1000 defense. He needs 3 level, 2 dark monsters, so he's attribute specific. And you detach an overlay unit, and it kind of is like a bait and switch kind of deal. He gains half the attack of the battling monster, and the battling monster loses half of its attack, so I don't know how that would work. Half of 2,000, and then it basically I think he'll be 100 attack points higher than every monster he battles when you detach an overlay unit, I think. Don't quote me. Anyways, where's the tab? There's the tab. Yuma gets pulled into his darkness, if you want to call it that, and becomes this little puppet for some of this duel. And he tells 96 of Tetsuo's strategy, which revolves around the clockwork archetype. It's anime only still, and this is the only monster that I found a card bio on, but you really don't care. Basically, the clockworks revolve around counters, and I think the majority of stuff that Tetsuo uses are traps, continuous traps that use counters. But Yuma, we find out in this episode, Yuma is a very good actor. Very, very good. As he deceives 96, that's how he deceived 96, by acting as a slave. And Tetsuo summons hope and uses hope to win, the normal stuff for these one-episode duels. And Astral gets pulled back out of, the asylum he was put in 96's brain or whatever. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. We win, good guys win, bad guys lose. Haha, suck it. But at the end of this episode, Astral's wondering what memory is attached to the 96 card, because it has to be particularly dark for this entire episode to have happened. But that's 19 and 20. Little, two standalone, short to the point, short and sweet, standalone episodes. But yeah. Now, I feel really bad for Tetsuo because his dub name sucks. It just sucks so hard. Bronk, I think it is. Bronk Stone. It's just really dumb. Really, really dumb. And, I mean, everything everyone said in the dub was dumb. Especially Yuma. They changed Katobing to, two things, I think. Feeling the flow and high five the sky. Both of which suck hard. I mean, they could have changed it to bring it to him. I don't understand why they didn't. Even Pop Flying, the horrible mistranslation would have been better. But anyways, I mean, and he used them, like, in simultaneous. It's like, oh my gosh. I wish that one scene, you just have to go look it up. It's like, I'll rise to the top or something and high five the sky, because when you're feeling the flow, there's no turning back. It's like, what the heck does that even mean? But yeah, and kudos to Astral for surviving the onslaught that is the horribleness that is the ZeXal dub. Because Astral's voice is perfect. He had 2 speaking lines, and he owned everyone else who has appeared so far on this show. He owned. His voice is perfect. End of story. Cut. That's a wrap. And I really do like the opening, because I, for one, seem to be the only person in existence that hated the first opening, Japanese opening, which is Masterpiece. I can't stand Masterpiece. It is dumb. This new one that's out right now, Braving, is the best thing I have heard in months of any Japanese song that I have listened to. I play the second opening over and over and over. I'm going to learn it like I learn everything else. And the second ending is also on par with the second opening. But the second opening is beast. Oh my gosh. I'm going to listen to it right now, actually. So I'm going to leave you with that. Also, I'll explain it to you on the next video when I have more time. But yeah, that's my review of the dub. And I mean, I'm still going to keep watching and hope it gets better, so that people who think that watching anything subbed sucks, just, to keep up with what they think and stuff, and just to compare. But that's all for tonight, and I will see you guys later.